I think we're live. Trying to get a few things going here. Ah, that's the button. What's going on, everyone? It is Tuesday. This is the Kickin' It with Andy show, and this is going to be awesome. I'm telling you guys, we got the Amp Dyno bench test area running. We're going to show you guys how to set your gains with all type of equipment. And, you know, I feel like there's a lot of ways to do things, but there's some steps that we forget, and we're going to talk about it. So just hold on, let's get this intro going, and I will see you guys in a minute. Kicking It with Andy. He's going to be on every other Tuesday. Kicking It with Andy. Kicking It with Kicking It with Andy. And we are officially live. What is going on, everyone? You know, this topic is going to be... I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I want to show you guys. It's going to be awesome. But I have to start off the show because El Fuego, we love you. We miss you. Give your thoughts and prayers to El Fuego, to him and his family, for a safe and speedy recovery, man. We love you. And tune in on Wednesday, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central on DIY Audio Guys channel. Might want to tune in for that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is the Kickin' It with Andy show, so you know how it goes. We give stuff away just like the Kicker on Mass show. So check it out, kicker.com/UND. Weekly. I try to post it in the comments every 10 to 15 minutes, but tonight there's no guarantee because I am going to be a man of 3 positions. This guy here running the stream and doing some testing, man, it's going to be crazy, and we got some headphone switches coming up. It's going to be crazy. This is the first time we're doing this stuff, and it's going to be an awesome show. I've been waiting for it. I literally prepared for 10 hours last night, putting everything together last minute of the final touches, and it finally came together because, of course, you know, you run into little problems here and there. But either way, we're going to get to it, and we're going to go over there, and we're going to do some game setting the right way, and maybe some ways that you guys have tried it in the past. And just, if you guys got any questions, I will be over there. I'll be able to see all the chats and everything going on. So please let me know what you guys think about the process of how we're doing it. William, thank you for tuning in, man. Hey, Kicking It, Kicker Unmasked with Andy, you're a rock star. Thank you for all you do. William, thank you for being a supporter, and thank you for everything that you do for me and everyone in the community. This community is so strong, and one of you guys, you know, it's not one person, it's everybody, man. And William, thank you so much, dude. Michael DePole, thank you for tuning in as well. Always rigged no matter the time. And you know what? It is rigged because El Fuego wins too often. I'm going to say that. He wins a little too often. Yes, it's rigged. RVH, what is going on? Is this Kicker Unmasked or Rockfield? You know, I feel like we do need more game. You can never have enough game. You know, when I watch that, I'm like, man, these guys do know what they're talking about, but yet at the same time, they don't, and it's fine. You can twist words. That video will go down in car audio history. Even though they deleted it, there's a vault. Thank you for tuning in, RVH, and I can't wait to grab that KXA 400.4 off of you. I need more power for my L7, my L7Xs. Yeah, those two, the Street Series. I always need more power. Thank you for tuning in. Kevin Diesel, I want 2 L7X12s. Me too, man. I'm gonna go with the 10s just for space and a hatchback, but the 12s, I might, you know, I might just grab one of each, and 2 10s for sure, because that's gonna be an actual system. Thank you guys so much. Jason Grant, thank you for tuning in the Boss Audio Hour. You know, Boss, if Boss watched this video, I think they might be exploited a little bit. They're like, where is all your rail voltage? It doesn't exist. How are you getting 2,000 watts out of a 30 amp fuse? The world may never know. Again, guys, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you enter the link below, kicker.com/umweekly. Please enter. It's a giveaway. You get the Cush NCs, the Tabor 2s, or the EB300s, EB400s. Sorry, can't keep up. And of course, the Kicker Unmasked t-shirt and koozies, man. I want to know how everyone's Christmas was this year, man. I had a really good time. You know, Christmas weekend, if you want to call it that. Steelers won in Steeler Raider fashion, man. If you watched that game, it was insane. And it's easy to cheer for the Steelers and Kicker. It's both black and yellow, man. It just goes hand in hand. Chris Miller, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate everyone that's here. What is going on, Adam? Thank you for tuning in. This guy works with SPL Lab like I work with Kicker, so it's awesome that he is here. Thank you for tuning in, buddy. Appreciate you so much. And now the stream can finally start. The Deviant has arrived. Thank you for tuning in, Deviant. Got someone from Facebook. Sean Lynn, thank you for tuning in, man. I see you got some Kicker car audio for Christmas. That is awesome. I like setting gains with the DD1, and we're going to go over all that. We got the multimeter. We got the DD1. We got, SPL Lab. We got it all. So we're going to talk about some things, and then, but I feel like I just want to jump over there, man. This is going to be insane. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you. One thing I forgot to pull up, though, which I should pull up anyway, and maybe I'll show you guys, you know, we'll pull it up later. We will pull it up later. I want to get to the show. Thank you, Larry. Thank you for tuning in. Andy is the boss on this channel. Compliment or insult, you decide. You know, I guess that works. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. Sean Lynn, Larry, Paul, Kevin Diesel, Chowders, what is going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Christmas was great. I got to order my new audio for my new build. Hey, you know what? Sometimes it comes later, or sometimes it comes right on time, car audio, and you know what? With all the gift cards and just it goes to car audio, man, sometimes, and that's why I'm just blessed to be able to do it for YouTube, man, and don't have to pull from anything else, and I get to have a lot of fish tanks. Speaking of which, Chris is right here. He is doing great. Fins are all grown back. It's his little quarantine box. Absolutely, man. It's Cookie Monster swimming in the fish tank. He's just making sure the cat doesn't get in there. You know, cats and fish, they don't go hand in hand. What is going on, Nick? Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you so much. He actually texted me the other day. He's got the Black Panther kicker build. In spite of, you know, Cookie Monster build, the Shag, you seen that one time, boom, I'm putting Shag in my car. And he has kicker too. It's just hand in hand, man. And he actually asked me a question about if you can play bass in cold weather. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make a video about this. Plus, you know, shaking the snow off my pilot. Win-win. So got to make a little short out of that. I want to go deeper into that because that is a audio myth. Yes, to a certain degree of how cold it is, the type of woofer you have, cheap or, you know, expensive, is going to dictate what kind of temperature, and humidity comes into a factor too with condensation on your amplifiers. But you know, just your subwoofers alone, I feel like you can get away with it in at least Pennsylvania and a little bit more north. Now if you're talking Alaska where it gets to -40 and then plus a wind chill, you know what, I probably wouldn't play below 40 hertz right away. Thank you for tuning in, John. I hope you and the family are doing well. Merry Christmas to you and happy holidays. I hope you're doing well, buddy. It's going to be a good night at Andy's. Absolutely. Let's move over there. Speaking of which, we have a lot of things that I have to do in order to go over there, but it's going to be awesome. I actually picked up a second pair of headphones so that I can actually be over there, hear my background music, and hear my own voice real time and walk around. Now, they're not as loud, but it'll work for what I need to do tonight. So, without further ado, I have to do a few things. Bear with me here. All right, mic should be on here. Got background music, we're good. Let me know if you guys can hear me before I walk on over there. All right, so Danny, thank you for tuning in. I'm scared of mine because it might rip the surround when it's cold and brittle. You know what? That's the thing where it comes down to the quality of the surround, the type of surround. Foam versus plastic, rubber, whatever you want to call it. Polyethylamine, or however you pronounce it. You know what most surrounds are made out of. So it kind of all depends, sorry. It all depends what woofer you have and how everything lines up. All right, cool. Sound great. Thank you, guys. That's, you know, with this mic, it's actually pretty darn close compared to the Elgato. I do have some DSP processing going on over here, but nothing crazy, you know. It's just like the simple stuff. And oopsie, that's the wrong button here. Still getting used to this ATM Mini. Got a new Pro coming along the way, but it works, man. It's going to be awesome. And again, guys, go check it out, kicker.com/umweekly. All right, so if I sound good... If I sound good, I'm going to head over there and we're going to do some amp dyno. Well, not dyno, but you'll see. You'll see. So let's go on and head over there. And what's awesome is I can literally walk around my room. This is a Bluetooth headset. The only problem that I don't really like about it is that my real-time mic monitoring isn't as loud as the Kicker NCs, but I mean, it's because they're Kicker, right? But either way, it's a pretty cool little headset, and I'm able to do stuff like this. We got a lot going on here. We're going to test the DD1 Steve Mead. This thing is awesome, man. We got the OG multimeter. Kind of talk about how to do that. We're not going to go super deep. We're going to be real simple with how we're doing these things, but what we're really going to talk about is how to set your gain. You know, literally with, you know, the basics and math. There's math behind all this stuff too, and how accurate is it for your system? We're going to talk about it all. And another thing, so you guys can see the stream as well, or see the screen of the SPL Lab, we're going to blow it up nice and big. Adam, thank you so much for getting me all hooked up with, you know, just how this stuff works, man. This SPL Lab with the, you can't even see me there, with the DC clamp and AC clamp. It's just like really cool of like how you can just see everything, and those will be future videos, just so you know. That's going to be future videos with amp dynos, live amp dynos. But let me get to the comments real quick, see what I missed from you guys, and let me know if my levels are too hot. I'm kind of screaming. So let me know. All right, come on, old computer. This is the old laptop that I used to use to stream all the time. So we'll see how it works. It's not really streaming, but it's doing something. So hopefully it does enough, right? See, and this is... What's up, Bobby? Thank you for tuning in. Larry, you could always buy an amp with a clip indicator, and man, you know what? I love the Kicker KX line, how they have the clip indicator on either the bass knob and the amp itself. It really takes the guessing game out of all of it. But with everything else, you're going to need this, and I feel like one day you might not even need this anymore. Or do you? So, and that's something I want to talk about. So many people, and I hear that right, Kicker Amp Dyno Live. You know what? I was going to do your amp. The only reason I'm doing a 601 is because, one, it takes big old 4-aught inputs. It's a little bit more beefier, and that Kicker amp that I want to dyno, I don't know how good a condition it's in. But either way, so you think about it. All right, let's set my game. So do you go back here, hook up your DD1, and just go at it? The normal person might do that, but the main thing that you want to do is literally set your head unit to how it sounds at 3/4 volume is the rule of thumb, but honestly, you can go a little bit more, you can go a little bit less. There may be some dynamics, depending the head unit, depending the setup, everything makes a difference. So you kind of want to go at it by setting the radio first. And when you set the radio, you know, think about it. If you got an amplifier to power everything, then I would keep your radio flat. 0 dBs across the stick, you know, just 0 dB or 0 bass, just flat. You can add a little bit of treble, but I wouldn't really remove any bass unless you have problems of maybe your amplifier not having certain crossovers to cut out the bass, like bass blockers and stuff. But if you have a regular radio and maybe stock speakers, then that's when you have to cut the bass. I used to do that for years, but just go into that knowing that I'm cutting the bass, I'm taking input signal going to this amplifier, and in a sense, I'm going to need more gain. More gain! We always need more gain, but you're going to need it because you are lowering the signal going to this amplifier. And I'm going to show you guys the signal that's going to this amp without lowering anything and making everything all crazy. By lowering the bass, we're just going to see what it does stock. Deviant, thank you for tuning in. Let's see. Andy be like, please be sure and return your trays, your seats back to the full right position, and thanks for flying Kicker Airlines. That's about it, man. You know what? I think this is awesome because I love that about Kicker on that show. You know, they're walking around, Kip, John, you know, Aaron, whoever it is, they're back there, they're talking about, or even Joe with the amp stuff, man. I would love to pick his brain, just like I do Aaron's. You know, and it's cool to be able to do this kind of stuff, and it's going to be exciting. So let me get to it. We're already 17 minutes in. We got a lot of cover here. Yes, DD1 is my favorite tool. Dude, you know what? We're going to go about the DD1 and the comparison with either or, but let's just kind of look at the SPL Lab first. Now, I'm going to throw up the screen here. So bear with me when I get this going here. Now what we're going to do, actually, you know what? Let me pull this off really fast. I need another camera over here. That's why I was telling Kayla I might keep the old ATM Mini so I can have a second camera over here for, you know, to switch it. But either way, what I'm going to do first is, you can't really see, it's kind of off camera, but we have the test leads from the SPL Lab going into the RCAs. Now, why am I doing that? Why am I testing the RCA out that goes into the amp first? I want to test for clipping. And I'm going to show you guys this, and we're going to get deeper into testing and what to look for. But what I'm going to show you guys today is kind of how this thing works. Now, right now, we're only sitting at 12.6 volts. If you see on the amp dyno here, or the SPL Lab, we're sitting at about 12.6. And there's a reason to that, but I'm going to get into it later, and it's really cool. It's really, really cool. I'm so excited. Dude, that setup is kicker. Thanks, man. You know what? I feel like I didn't even get to tell you guys about the bench, man. Like, John K., thank you for all the 3D printing stuff, man. Like, I'm excited about this. So anyway, let's get back to the SPL Lab. Now, don't worry about the voltage. We're going to be looking at over here. So let me go to one channel here. We got one channel. Let me roll up this guy right here. I should have rolled it up ahead of time, but either way, this is an O-scope right here, guys. Now, it's all kind of jibber-jabbery just because I'm not really playing any power through it right now. But what we're going to do is we're just going to put a 40 hertz test tone, 0 dB, full scale. So that means just a 40 hertz test tone. No, you know, this is just playing 40 hertz from your test tone app on your phone. So what I'm going to do, if you look at the voltage right here, it's in the blue. Not the green, but the blue right here. Most head units put out 1 to 4 volts of pre-out. And what we're going to see is how much is it clean. Now, over here, this is going to be your THD, total harmonic distortion. We're going to try to keep it under 1%. That is whenever you see an amp dyno certified is at 1% THD or under. Any up to clipping, I don't know what that really means, but usually I go up to 10% THD because you're still kind of getting a little louder, but the wave's pretty square. But we're not going to talk about that. Let's just go ahead and play the tone and see what kind of voltage we can get out of this. Right now I don't have a bass knob, but I have a sub setting on this head unit right here. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to turn this up here. And as you can see, we're at 0.3 volts. 0.4. Now you see the THD and it's kind of high for some reason. And oh, you know what? That might be, let's see. Hold on, give me a second, guys. It's live, folks. Okay, that restarted. That's why it went crazy. Yeah, I got on a loop. So if the THD goes to the roof, don't worry about it. It'll come right back down because we got this on no hold. Right now we are at 1 volt and it's kind of clean. Now we're under 1% THD. We're kind of bouncing, not too bad. And I go up a little bit more, 1.2 volts, we're still clean, 1.4, track restarted, and yeah, we're dirty. See, we're at 5% THD when we get to that 2 volts of pre-out, which this head unit actually states that it does. And you're already sending a clip signal to your radio. And you know what, let me turn the amperage scale up to 8 so you can really see the square wave just being square. Sorry about that. This mute button's a little slower than mine on my radio or on my Elgato. So anyway, as you can see, we're only able to get 1.3 volts, and then we're starting to clip here. So let's just keep it at like 1.2 volts, volume 29, and that, folks, is how you get that to set your volume on your head unit when you have the right equipment. Now, what do you do if you don't have an SPL lab? You can do the same thing with a DD1, and that's why we're going to go all into it about why the DD1 is superior over just a regular multimeter. Now, you could do this with a multimeter. It's going to tell you the voltage on here, like how we're set at 1.3 or 1.2 right now. But at the end of the day, you know, you're not going to be able to tell if that's clipping or not. And there is math, and we're going to get into it, and I'm going to tell you why it's wrong. I don't like it. So, let's get to the comments real quick before, or actually I'll look at some of the comments while I'm hooking this up. So, let me hook everything back together. And the SPL lab or your multimeter, there's 2 ways of doing this, and I feel like some people have questions about having your speakers hooked up versus not hooked up. And that's why I did what I did ahead of time here, just so we can have an idea of what it would be like if you had your speakers hooked up with a resistive load, etc. But right now, let's just hook up the amp and get that going. We're at volume 29, still playing at 40 dB sweep. So once we get this going, but let me lower the volume really fast here. We're at volume 29, we know we are clean. That's how Derek and the guys at Kicker and Face Kicker and all these amp dyno guys, that's how they set their head units. They make sure they're not clipping there first. Dirty in, dirty out. But either way, whenever you're testing with the Steve Mead, the multimeter, or the SPL lab, you're always testing at the speaker terminals. You know how many times whenever I have people trying to clamp their system, you know, like they're hooking it up to like their positive and negative of their power input. And that's not always the case. That's for DC power. We are testing for AC out of the amplifier. So, let me make sure that's good. Okay, that's saying 12.5 volts. All right, so Whew, let me take a breath here. Oh, you know what? I'm getting my water. And that's what's great about these headphones. I can just walk around, you know, go pet the cat, come back. Okay. Sorry for the chewing. You know what? I love Alpine like the next guy, man. Quality stuff, but I've always noticed that there was a little issue where I couldn't turn it past 25 on certain settings, man. Thank you, Ashy. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, I don't have the link on this computer. I should have copied and shared it. But just go to kicker.com/umweekly and make sure you guys enter, man. You know what? You can tune by ear if you got some speakers, but only to a point. You're only going to get so close. You're either going to be underachieving or pushing it too hard. So you can never really get that super close tuning that you could, but with the music depending, you know, you may not be hurting yourself as much as you could by setting it a different way. You know, I've always tuned by ear with so many systems. It's great having the kicker stuff with the KX, with the clip detection. It just makes it a no-brainer. But let's get into the meat and potatoes here. We're already 25 minutes in. That's still accurate. 27 and I'm clipping. And you know what? I actually have the subwoofer setting on the head unit at 10 out of 15. And I want to state that as well. So I could be, you know, maybe clipping at 27 if that was up all the way. I like to give myself headroom no matter what, because some songs are just recorded quieter. And that's the whole thing at the end of this. You know, you could still be clipping no matter what equipment you use, no matter how you set it, with what dB full scale, under or even, you could still be clipping just because of the recording ahead of time and boosting, and you don't even know. And voltage drop. And that's what we're going to get into. All right. Yes, Deviant is always clowning around. Appreciate you guys. We got 25. We got Saber. Saber, I seen your comment on Facebook. That's exactly what we're going to do today, but I'm going to show you another way without using a resistive load or reactive. I do not have an AMM1, but they are pretty cool. I see, I think Parker has one. Kibbalicious. Dub Team, thank you for tuning in. Chance Laven, thank you for tuning in, man. Let's see what your comment is. I gotta zoom in on this. I'm blind. Hey, Andy, great video. What are your thoughts on using a good quality line driver to increase the voltage signal from your head unit that's around 2 volt, something around 5 volt, and having less gain? Absolutely. When you have to turn your gain up less, what it does is gives you a better noise floor. You know, and you're making the amplifier amplify less, if that makes sense. An amplifier takes a signal and multiplies it, amplifies it. So less multiplication needed. Better, in my opinion, better dynamics. And honestly, at the end of the day, it's just that signal noise ratio with the noise floor. But is it going to make you louder? No. Signal in is signal in. What the amp can do is what the amp can do. Dynamic range, though, is where that really comes into key and into play, and why it makes it really important to have a better source, you know, from your RCAs going into your amplifier. And that's why I love how Kicker amps can take up to 40 volt pre-out. You could just take your head unit and plug it right in, and you're getting great. If the signal is not disturbed from like a DSP, all pass filters. Besides that, if you got everything there, you're getting such a better just input source, higher voltage. The amplifier, in a sense, has to work less. So absolutely, man, I think it's a great plan to do if you can do it. And, you know, just again, though, make sure that 2 volt you're sending isn't clipped, because it ain't going to help you no more. Just by having higher pre-out voltage, it might make a little difference, but not as much as it could. So let's get into the stuff. Okay, so what we're going to do is we got the 40 hertz going, and I'm going to share my screen here really fast. I'm just going to move me down there because you don't really need to see me too much, plus then it doesn't cut me off so much. Either way, let me pull down this. We're going to make this a little bit bigger here. Now you can see we're at 12.4 volts. Why am I at 12.4 volts, and why is my power supply not on? Right now I have the JY NXT lithium hybrid battery hooked up, and it's only 2 amp hours, so let me tell you, it doesn't take long to kill this thing. But I'm like, this is perfect. Sorry for screaming. this is perfect because I'm going to show you guys what happens when you set your gain and your voltage is not strong enough after you set your gain. Because so many people set their gain when they have nothing hooked up, and if their voltage, their electrical cannot keep up, they're going to clip. And I'm going to show you exactly how that happens. So let's turn on the amplifier here. Appreciate you guys tuning in, man. This is going to be an awesome little dyno demonstration for you guys. And on the right side, you can see the power supply DC section. It's pulling like a half an amp, not even. And we're at 12.3 volts. And on the left side is the AC, and we are, yep, let's see here. We're at 0.5 volts. Let me turn that up. Okay, let's go to our volume. Let me turn the gain all the way down here. Let me know how you guys can see. If you want me a little bigger, that's fine. I think that's fine, because the main thing I want to show you guys, yes, I smell smoke too. The main thing I want to show you guys is this screen of what's going on. So let me turn this up to volume 29, because we know we're clean at 29. You know what, let's just go to 28. Just so we're safe. You know, we don't want to send anything in there unnecessary. So right now, it's playing at 40 Hertz test tone, and this is at 0 dB full scale. There's a lot to go into, but I tell people when you're setting your gain, let's just set it at 0 dB so you're not going to clip more than you should. You know, whenever you set it 0, you're giving yourself plenty of leeway. When you set yourself at -5, -10, which a lot of people do with subwoofers, and it's totally fine, but you have a tendency to clip more, because what happens is that test tone that's going through the radio is 10 dBs quieter than the one that I'm doing right now, so it may give you a false, you know, sense of security that you're not clipping. It might make your system louder and less dynamic, and probably louder on notes that it normally wouldn't be, but that's the whole point of, you know what, how much clipping doesn't make a difference, you know? You're gonna clip, sorry, unless your system is perfect and you're sandbagging, you're going to clip, and a lot of times it doesn't even matter, you know, it's just how long you clip. But let's get back to setting this gain. So, look at the rate over here. We're at 12.2 volts. Man, our voltage is just not looking good. But you know what? This happens. This happens. 12 volts. When you're playing full tilt boogie, it happens, man. And your electrical, your alternator's not great. You're running lead acid batteries. You're starting at 12.8. You're going to drop to 12.2. It's totally plausible. So as I turn this gain up here, look on the left-hand side, 23. This is the volts you're going to be looking at. And the frequency, but not so much. And the THD over there. Now, as I turn this up, this is just going to keep going. It's not going to stop when I'm at 1% THD. And I want to show you guys something here. I'm turning it up. We're getting 40 volts AC. Now we're already clipping at 42. We're at 2.2% THD. And right about 38, 39. Man, she just wants to go. See how much of a difference? I am barely turning this gain knob. Like, I'm turning it like a millimeter. And it's going from 38 to 40. Like, it's very touchy. And that's why setting things by ear may not always be the best idea. But again, track reset. Let's try to get it where it's not clipping. We're at about 40 volts. Let's do a peak hold of 1%. What can we really get out of this guy? Yeah, 40.5 volts. And that's it. Clean. And we're at 12 volts. So as you can see, I can turn this up. And I'm turning up. My THD is rising. We are square. And voltage is at 12 volts. We're at 13% THD. Track reset. Or amp blew up. Just kidding. And I got this thing turned all the way up. 51 volts. That's all we got. That is a square wave at 12 volts. Now again, we are at what, 40 volts AC. And this is what you would look at on your multimeter. It's going to be no different on here as your multimeter. And I think around 39, but we'll say 40 volts is right around where you would need to set this at 12 volts. Now watch what happens. I'm going to turn this power supply on. As you can see, our voltage is up to 14.3. Whoa, our THD went down a lot. We're at 3%. And we're at 41 volts. almost at the same gains position, which is just crazy already. So now let's turn this up a little bit more. Oh my, we're at 46 volts and we're still clean. 47, 48, 49. We're barely clipping. Oh, track reset. 48.5. Still clean. 49.7. I'd say about 48, 49. I'd say 48.7. But either way, as you guys can see, we are able to get much more power out of this just by having better voltage. Now, let me turn this power supply off for a second here and crank this gain down, and I'm going to get back with you guys here. So, why did that happen? Why did that happen with, you know, the voltage? And it's just, it takes power to make power. And why I wanted to show you guys that is if you set your gains at 14.4 volts with no load and your electrical is not good enough, and then you think, okay, my gains are set, my buddy did it with his DD1, everything's working great, he unhooked my subs, played the tone, set it right. And then you go in there, you got your 8 gauge wire, your 4 gauge wire, no battery, and you're dropping to 12 volts. Even 13 volts can make a difference. We're at 13 volts right here, and I'll even show you 13 volts, we're going to be able to get more, but at the same time, we're not going to be able to get as much as when we were at 14 volts. So the voltage drop in even every amplifier, it's going to make a little bit of a difference. But again, see, we're able to get 44, 43, oh, track reset, 42, 43, 43.3, we're still clean. And even there, I still can't get the 47, 48 at 13 volts. So even if your electrical isn't that bad and it's only 13 volts, you're still not able to get as much power as you could out of this amp at 14 volts. And so many people set their gains with this unhooked. One, they don't want to wake up the whole neighborhood, and then two, it's just easier and it's not as hard on your equipment just playing 40 hertz test tone or whatever it may be. And that just goes to show, you know, if your electrical is not on key, you're going to be clipping. Just letting you guys know, and that is just, it's very, very important. So there's a few more things I want to go over, but let me check out the comments. Hold up, rewind. Did we get it, Johnny? Yes, we got it, Johnny. This is the Kicker KX 600.1. And let's see here. Lift it up for you a little bit there. Maybe I can just lean this guy forward for you. I got this one off of Scott Dilbeck. Actually, you know what? That works pretty good too. Got this one off of Scott Dilbeck. Now, this is the Kicker KX 600.1. And it's rated at, what, 600 watts at 2 ohms, 400 at 4 ohms. And that's what I wanted to bring up. If you have, I want to pull up the chart really fast, actually. So let me just turn this power supply on, this poor battery. All right, let me turn the power supply on. Let me turn this guy down. We don't need that right now at the moment. But let me go on to, am I still sharing screen? Good, good, good. All right, I want to go over here. And then, let's see, Kicker power chart. And of course it came up on my phone, the first thing I was looking for. Oh, come on, man. Bear with me, guys. I literally just had that with the RMS power chart. Oh, come on. That's not it. Is this it? Yes, this is it. But it's crooked. Okay. Let me scroll this out a little bit here. And then, can I go full screen on this? No. But that's okay. Let me pull this up for you guys really fast. Now, if you look there on the screen here, if you're setting with, excuse me, if you're setting your settings with a multimeter, they're going to tell you that you have to set it up with this mathematical equation. All you do is you take your resistance of what your speakers are going to be the final load at. You got dual 2s, and you're going to wire it at 1 ohm. What you're going to do is multiply that resistance times the power that you're trying to get, and that'll give you well, then you take that square root of that number and use a calculator, a little bit easier, and you'll get a number over here. And our amp is rated at 600 RMS. You know, it's a 600.1. I tested this thing at 1 ohm. It'll do it. Doesn't like it, but it will do it. And this amp is actually strappable, which is pretty cool. I know the newer ones are not. Either way, this KX 600.1. So if you have a 4 ohm amp, it tells you to set it. And this isn't Kicker. This is just math, okay? But Kicker has a power chart, and it's very important. But is it practical? So at 4 ohms, they're telling you, math is telling you, you do 4 times 600, which is 2400. Square root of 2400 is 48.99. So if you had it at 4 ohms, and we did the testing at 40 volts, 12 volt, and 48, 47, you know, we were pretty close on that at 14.4 volts, but at 4 ohms, okay? And this is where I get crazy. So if you would have it at 1 ohm, it's telling you to only set it at 24.49. And we just seen how much power that this amp can do. And when you have, if you set your gain and your voltage doesn't drop, it doesn't matter. You know, so I feel like with this method is just bad. You know, if you have an amplifier that is huge and you are trying to run a certain amount of power, you know, and try to sandbag and not blow your speakers, then yeah, this can give you a rough idea without having a clamp. But man, it's really kind of bad. I don't like that method because you're shortchanging yourself, most likely. That's what's happening. You're shortchanging yourself. Now, if you had a dual 2, again, but you wired at 4 ohms, and then you set, because you're like, I got a 4 ohm load, I'll set it at 48. You're just going to get more power. I get it, but it's just, it's not practical, because I feel like when you set your gain, you set your gain. It shouldn't matter what impedance you have. But that's how you do it mathematically to get the square root, and voltage. RMS is just, you know, power and squared, and 0.707 times time, because watts aren't even real. But, you know, I wanted to show you guys this, and I feel like I'm skipping over a lot. But here, I will show you guys the difference on DD1 versus SPL Lab. So let's do that. I know a lot of you guys are, you know, love the DD1, and so do I. You know, if I didn't have this SPL Lab and Kicker, you know, clip limiters on the amps, really wouldn't need it. But it does come in handy, let me tell you, and it's great for everybody that wants to have their amp set right, because it's going to get you close, man. Just like anything, though, price, you get what you pay for. You know, this thing isn't going to tell you everything. It just got lights, man. This is going to tell you everything, and it's going to be a lot more expensive at the end of the day. But if you love bass and you love music as much as I do, this is what you want to do. Again, guys, kicker.com/umweekly. Got a few more minutes to enter. Go check it out. And awesome. All right, cool. This is moving pretty good. Appreciate you guys. 25's up in here. Dub's leaving. Thank you for tuning in, Dub. Appreciate you, buddy. I got Saber Small. Yeah, and you know what? That's the problem too with that power chart. Saber, thank you for tuning in. Yeah, but not all amp brands are the same. As we know, the companies like to lie. So, exactly, back to that chart of thinking that you got, excuse me, thinking that you have, you know, a 1500 watt Boss amp, and then you go and hook up your multimeter and, or your SPL Lab, and you're trying to get that said voltage, you're never going to see it. You know, it's going to go to 20, and that's about it, you know, and you're going to be like, well, it's a 1500 watt amp, and I'm setting it at whatever voltage. I should be at 40 or 30 or whatever the number is. Probably more than that, really. 50s. But still, at the end of the day, it's like, well, how does that work? That's why these, you know, Steve Mead and Tony DeMore, and even Sparked Innovations, I love those types of products that fill our niche of products that we need, and maybe that don't do everything, but maybe something that we just need, you know, just on the side. And you might not use this every day, but you'll use this every day, I'll tell you that. So that's not, you know, oh, this is junk. This is a master of all trades. This is just good at one. So, and this kind of does it all, you know, but a little more expensive than a multimeter. So either way, I'm trying to think. I'm getting lost here. Thank you, Saber. Appreciate all you guys so much. Oh, yes, DD1 versus SPL. What's the difference? All right, so let me unplug. Well, I actually had these hooked up here instead. I got so many connections. God. All right, so this, and that's why I like, you know, with the DD1 and the SPL Lab, they got interchangeable connectors. There's just a RCA connection. You know, you got your male, and then you got your female outside, and positive, negative. It's all the same deal. I put new batteries in here so we get good realistic. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Come on. So, let's see what the difference is on this, huh? What if I zoom this guy in? Oh, look at that. All I'm doing is leaning the tripod. It's all crooked. But, it's clean. Alright, so. Now, this isn't a base race. This isn't anything of the sort. Alright, guys? But I want to show you, you know, the difference. You know what? You can't even see that too well, can you? How about there? Oh, there we go. Cool. Can't really see the SPL Lab, but maybe we can bring that up in a second screen, huh? And then what we'll do is one of these screens, huh? Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. So we got the power supply on. We're at 14.6 volts. 54 people. Thank you guys, man. I am excited that you guys get to see this. We're working really hard on just getting everything together, and yeah, awesome. So all right, test tone is going, and I'm going to show you guys, remind me, the dB full scale later, the differences. Now, let's see, gain all the way down. Let's go up to volume 28. We know 28 is good. Again, we haven't changed any of the settings on the head unit. Once you set that, don't change it, because then you go back. Might be clipping, who knows, and that's the thing. A lot of people, I like to switch my stuff around. I'm always clipping. Don't burn stuff, though. Little charcoal, not too bad. Anyway, so we got the 40 hertz test tone going through, and I am going to just... All right, cool. We're not going to keep it on hold, and this doesn't hold either. So let's turn up the gain, because we need more gain. Now again, look on the left-hand side. Voltage isn't going to drop, so we're just going to do one channel. That second channel is going to be great for finding efficiency of amplifiers. Adam, thank you so much. I see you still watching. I feel bad I'm not able to say hi to everyone in the comments, but this topic is great. So again, look at the 12.6, the green, or not the green, but the blue, and test tone reset. And we're going to go up, and once you look on the right-hand side there, do you see the 0.4, the THD that we've been looking at? That'll turn red once we hit 1% THD. Now, it's going to keep climbing up. It's not going to stop us, but then see the difference. And let me know what you guys see first. Which one's going to tell you about distortion first? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Which one? Oh, you know what? It would help if this one was hooked up. That would help a lot. Sorry about that, folks. It's live. 40 hertz detect. At least it tells you. I'm not paying attention here. I noticed with these DD1s, they do flare up in the beginning. See that? I don't know why. But all it is a little tweeter in there. When the battery was going bad, you could really hear that tweeter going. Oh! The DD1 is already saying that there's minor distortion, guys. Minor distortion, but nothing crazy at, track reset, 47.6. SPL Lab says you're still clean. You're at 0.5. And the SPL Lab is going to be a lot more accurate than this. But I can tell, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but that red is not very bright. And now it's brighter. Now it's brighter. And now I am 1.2, 1%. I'm clipping at 49, 49.2. And that's really red. So of all the tests that I've done on this thing, we'll get it to right where that's about to be turning red on the DD1 here. 47.6, 47.5, 47.2. See, it still says you're kind of clipping at 47. Yeah, 47 volts is saying that. Oh, I just bumped it up. See what I'm saying? Like, the little tiniest bump on your gain is going to throw you crazy. And people say that they tune by ear. You're just close. That's all. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll get you, you know, close enough. But you're probably clipping, man. Just saying. All right, so let's try to get this where this is not clipping. About 46.8, 47. But again, you know, this product right here is only $150, $200. But I feel like this thing's going to give you a warning ahead of time. You know, it's going to give you that cushion that you're going to need because you don't have all the numbers. And it gives you just a heads up, like, hey, man, you're getting a little close. Now you're clipping. So when that is red, you're still pretty well below clipping, but you still are leaving some on the table. But how much? Is it really noticeable? I wouldn't say so. And that's why this product is so popular as it is today, man. It really is. It really, really is, guys. I think I covered... Oh, yes, the DB full scale. Yes, thanks for reminding me, guys. Let me get to the comments real quick. Sean, Andy, can you imagine the guys who turn the gain and bass boost way up? They need some kind of handheld, too. Tool, you know, bass boost tracks, yeah, I know all about them, man. And just straight clipping. But, you know, if you don't know, now you'll know. But no, for real, though, like, if you don't know about it, you don't even know that you're doing it. And a lot of us have, but I don't know, maybe in a little, like in the beginning I was like, oh, that's bassy, but it just doesn't sound good. That sounds bad, man. I was always clarity over bass, no matter what. So let me turn that off because 9-volt batteries are expensive. So what we're gonna do, last thing we're gonna do, thank you Facebook user, my phone's over there. I can't see anyone from Kicker Club, but you should be on my Living Loud with Andy channel too. Appreciate you guys. Got the belly going here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna switch out the DJ Rustical. Yes, this was all on an iPod Touch because I couldn't get this connector until today. My dongle actually died. It stopped working. I thought my head unit was bad. I thought my amp was bad. I'm like, dude, nothing's reading. And then I tried playing a CD and it started working. I'm like, oh my god. Okay, so it's just the dongle that's bad. And we don't need this phone. I need my other phone. That phone's too old. And I was going to actually have a second camera with my second phone to get close images. But you know what? That kind of works to just angle this guy forward a little bit, right? Don't get too seasick, do you? Alright, Kicker Club guys, I'm going to have to say goodbye to you. Thank you, Chris Miller. That was Chris Miller on Kicker Club. Appreciate you, man. Alright, so let's pull out this aux cord. And again, if you guys are setting your gains with an aux cord, play with an aux cord. If you're setting with Bluetooth, play it on Bluetooth. If you're setting it with, you know, MP3 like Spotify, which is MP3, then set it with the Kicker apps that have MP3. There's different settings, and if you go check out kicker.com, go to the test tone section, which is under, oh, what department is it under? I should know this by now. Where's my wire? My wire is over here. Into the warranty and all that, you know, support us, contact us, all that kind of section of the website, and you will see their test tones there, and they got all kind of different tracks. And it's pretty cool, you know, just, but you kind of, if you look at it, you're going to be like, oh man, I don't know which one to use. Just use the MP3, 0 dB. You can't really go wrong. If you go with the other ones, you might be clipping ahead of time because not many people actually have FLAC files on their Spotify account. Just saying. Brian Townsend, thank you for tuning in. The DD1 is going to win with its convenience. Absolutely. It's kind of clunky to drag laptop everywhere in a car. Right. And that's, you know, form over function. And, you know, just simplicity, right? The DD1 for simple stuff, absolutely. Yeah, this kind of sucks lugging around, but you could, if you had it on a small tablet, might work. So what we're going to do is, I can play it from my computer, but I tested my computer. It only goes up to 1 volt pre-out, and for some reason, volume 0 to 99 is THD clipping a little bit over, and once you go to 100, backs off and stays under 1% THD. I don't know. I just don't like it. But either way, I'm sure there's some kind of DSP in there fighting it, and I just don't want to deal with that. So you just go to kicker.com. Yeah, this is not very practical, but you go to kicker.com, go under support and tech. Got it. Support and tech, and test tones right there. And you're going to want to go down because they got everything for the key lock and all different stuff. Key 200, all their fancy key technology stuff. Now, these are the ones right here that you're going to want to focus on. And what we were doing was a 0 dB full scale, but at 40 hertz. These are all at 50 hertz or 1000. If you're doing mids and highs, you want to do 1000. Same thing, just at a different frequency. Now, what we're going to do is, I did everything, at least with the DJ Rustical 0 dB, that's an MP3 track because it's not like 30 megabytes, so it's definitely an MP3. But either way, so we already did 0 dB. We'll just do each one. We'll do 0, -5, and -10. There is -15, but not on the Kicker website, and that's totally fine. So what we're going to do really fast, we got 5 more minutes until the competition ends. So make sure you guys go enter before it is too late. Kicker.com/E1Weekly. Appreciate you guys. Alright, Notorious RVH. In some cases, we use a desktop O-scope. Yes, I mean, O-scope is just going to win. But again, how accurate is that O-scope? Does it show THD? That's the question. The SPL Lab does. I don't know if an O-scope technically does. And then you have to look at that sine wave. Is it clipping? Is it clipping? I don't trust this. I don't. I trust that. I trust that all day. Oh, and one more thing. Before we do all this, we'll do the 50 hertz 0 dB full scale. But what we're going to do is see how much more voltage we can get out of this amp. I forgot to show you guys. Whenever we were at 12 volts, we were only able to get 50 volts AC. Let's see how much more we can get at 14 volts. So power supply should be on. Let's see, power supply is on. Thanks for watching, guys. You guys are awesome. I know this was going to be a good topic and a lot to go over, and we always got more coming down the road. Yes, the L7X are on the level of Sundown. Alright, cool. Let's get this going. Now, this is, I'm going to have to reset every time. You should download these and put them in your files because you're going to use them all the time. Let's see, make sure volume's all the way up. Now, this might clip a little bit different, but we're going to put it at volume 28. It's an iPhone, iPod, same thing, right? Alright, so you guys see that going there. Let's put out the stream. That works. Alright, so we are at 19, and we're going to go up to clipping. So when this turns red, 1%, that means we are clipping. And this is the AC voltage going in. 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, oh, 48.8, we're still good. 50, we're kind of bouncing, and if you look right there, that looks a little square to me. Bounce it down. That's why you can't really trust the O-scopes. Like, is it? Is it, though? Is it? That looks pretty... Oh. Is that going to restart? Of course not. Alright, let's see here. Okay, we're pretty clean there. That's fine. I just like that wave. And we're at 47.3. So we're going to say 47.3 volts is our what we would set by multimeter or by the DD1. Sorry about the loud fire whistle. I've lived by a fire hall all my life in both houses. So anyway, now let's back out of that. We know we're set there. I'm not going to mess with nothing. What happens when you do a other track tone? Now that was 0 dB, and we got to do them all on MP3 because each file is going to have different types of just how it's quality or not. So let's do -5, and then we're just going to play it and see what it does. Wow, -5 dBs brought us down to 27 volts. Now, what is that going to do with my system? Is that going to give me headroom? Yes. Or no, actually the opposite. It's going to make the things that are not as loud, louder. And I feel like whenever that happens, you know, I just feel like it's not... I don't set my things at a negative dB. It's like if it's not loud enough, I'm playing probably the wrong song. More likely than I'm not giving enough power. And I cannot stress that enough. So let's go down to, let's make sure that was up all the way. Yep. Yeah, so you see we literally lost half the power input going from 0 dB full scale to -5. Now let's go to -10 dB full scale and see how much power. Now we only got 15. You know, so, and then you're turning up your gain more, you know, to get the same amount of input. And say, you know, look at that. I can't even, my gain is all the way up. My gain is all the way up. And then you know what happens? People start turning the other knob. It's called the bass boost. It's called the bass boost. So then you have that set like that. Say we're at 48.7. That's not that bad. Usually where we're really set at. But then we're at -10. And a lot of music is not recorded at -10. It's just, it's not. So then you go back and we're going to play 0 dB full scale. AKA a guy that doesn't know how to rebass and he plays bass boosts in music. That's what your sine wave looks like. And look how much power. We are clipping. We are at 4%. Look at that wave. It is square. It is square. And, you know, I feel like that wraps it up, man. Literally, hour mark, bam. Bam. That is literally why you don't want to really do all that kind of stuff, because you might be hurting yourself. Now, it all comes down really to user. You know, how you play, what kind of music you play. You know, if you're pushing your equipment too hard, then you're probably pushing your equipment too hard, man. I can't stress that enough, guys. All right, cool. Let me we'll just leave that running. That's okay. That's okay. Let me go back and walk over there, and we'll get to the rest of the show, guys. I think that the event, the giveaway has ended, so we can end that. You can go like that. No, I'm gonna have to just, yeah. Either way, sorry about that, guys. I'm gonna switch headphones here in a second. These ones aren't bad once you get used to them, but I am so used to hearing my voice just going. So here, give me 1 second here, guys. We're gonna switch this over. Okay. And that's good. Huh. Home sweet home. What's going on, everyone? All right, cool. Excuse me. You know what? Because I lost the internet, I forgot to re-upload on StreamYard here the waiting song. We need the waiting song. You know, you just need it. You need it. All right, cool, guys. Man, I'm going to have to reread these comments later. You guys were awesome. I felt like we covered so much on the show today. Man, these are all stretched out from that Santa hat. I gotta put them back. Woo! All right, guys. Dolores, I see my mom's here. Love you, Mom. Thank you for tuning in. Man, I sound like I'm clipping now. Let's see. Clipping loud with Andy. Exactly, man. Exactly. I felt like this show was great, man. I've been waiting for months to be able to do something like that, and getting the audio equipment to work, in the video, and just everything, man. The switchers, God, it's been crazy, man. Thank you, Colby. Appreciate you so much, man. Thank you. If tuning a boat that spends 90% of playtime with the engine off, should I tune at 12 volt or 14? I would tune low. Because if you tune it at 12 volts, all you're going to do is kind of limit yourself when you're at 14 volts. You know what I'm saying? Literally, like how when I was demonstrating that, you know, you're kind of cutting yourself. But whenever you're down at that 12 volts, you're not going to be clipping. And that's if you really want to know, you want to set your gains and you want to get maybe a little bit more out of it. Yes, you want to get that gain just right, because then you're just going to be giving yourself the most potential of what that amp can do. Any other factor, you're limiting yourself. Or you're running the equipment into thermal because of clipping. Clipping can make the amplifier hot, and it actually makes it less efficient for the amount of power. It just keeps pulling power, and the amount of power that it's pulling to do the power it's giving you, just, you know, it just starts going down, diminishing returns, and it just, you know, it's a pyramid effect. It really is, and we're going to get into that too. whenever I do an amp dyno next, maybe next Tuesday, next Kicking It with Andy, we'll do an actual amp dyno live. I think that'll be great. All right, guys. Thank you, Matt, for tuning in. Appreciate you all. Man, you guys have been awesome for watching. We live so close, they pass our house. Yes, the fire hall. Too close. You know, I can't get away from it. Bass boosted for the win. Right, Sean? Thank you for tuning in, man. Guys, we're awesome. All right, so let's get to... let's get to the drawing. Let me know if you guys can hear that. Just because, for the simple fact of switching all the audio things around with everything and just how that goes. Just want to make sure that you guys can hear that background music, okay, of this little thing. Of the thing. You know the thing. You know the thing. Come on, man. Oh, messing with, I need a new aux cord for that. Alright, let's see. Finished? Let me see something here. Did I miss any super chats tonight, guys? I was on my other computer. They're not going to show up. They're not going to show up. Let's see. I just don't want to miss them, man. No. Good. Awesome. Felt bad there for a second. Alright, thank you, Matt Stark, man. I can't wait to see your stuff going on. You got the same SPL Lab amp dyno situation with built-in resistive loads, man. It's awesome. Awesome. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, William. Thank you. 41 potential winners. Only 41 of the 50 watch and enter. Come on, man. You guys got to enter every time. Thank you, Kibo. Thank you, man. You know, I've been waiting to do the show for you guys. Oh, no way. Yes. 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 I can't. All right. Let me do some bot checking. Some rigging. You know how it goes. Let's see. Of course. Okay. Yeah, I know. If there's anything I left out, maybe we can do like a part 2 of this next time, or just whenever, man. I feel like I could do this kind of stuff all the time. All right, cool, man. Got some new people here, which is awesome. Oh, come on, man. Where'd it go? Oh, that's not it. Nope. Let's see. Perfect. 3 for 3. Guys, super chat now. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you, man. Awesome show. Thank you for tuning in, dude, and just supporting, being here. This is cool stuff. You know, I feel like a non-great value edition of the Kick Around Mash show now. You know, I feel like it's legit content and cool stuff and live dynos and just stuff like that, man. It's freaking awesome. All right, guys. Yes, Grant making it rain. Again, Jason, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you guys. Deviant, has anyone got their winnings in the last 2 months? I think so. I don't know. I'm gonna have to check up on it. I know, well, Deviant, you just won, what, 2 shows ago on mine? And then, well, 25, and then you won, back to back on my show, or Kicker and then my show, one of the two. If you haven't got your stuff, let me know, man. I mean, it is rigged, but, you know how that goes. So, let me, get to the typing of the names. J-Dub, can you throw the names in, or Bill? Maybe, yeah, Bill, that's your job. Bill, can you throw the names in for me real fast? Thanks, man. Appreciate it. If only. Hey, Kayla, get over here. No, I enjoy doing it by myself because, yeah, it's harder. But at the same time, you know, it's more genuine, I think. you know, less like a production so much. Indiana? No, that's Idaho. Idaho. You know, you would think you would know all your state's abbreviations, but sometimes you don't. Bear with me here, guys. Second. When you think LA stands for Los Angeles. No. I might have said that last time though by mistake. I don't know. I might have, because I almost did it again. Wait a minute. That's not Los Angeles. That's Louisiana. So if you live in Louisiana, you have a good chance of winning. Okay. Oh. Let's see here. I think that's how you spell it. I don't know. Alright, cool. So we are set. We are set. We are set. We are set. Idaho, thank you. Thank you. It's a close one, you know what I mean? It's hard to tell sometimes. Louisiana. Yes. Yes. Sean Lynn, if you want to use an AMM1 on your future shows, I can send mine over to you. I would like to compare one. That would be cool, dude. Absolutely. Thank you. I knew that one, Saber. Come on, man. Come on. Come on, man. Rig, you mean? Always, dude. I mean, it's the same software, just over here, so it's definitely Rig, man. Trust me. Trust me. All right, cool. So we got the winners in. John K., you're not one of them. Thank you for tuning in, buddy. Love you, man. And again, you did great on all your 3D printing stuff with all this stuff, man. It's awesome. It is awesome. All right, cool. So let me get to the winners. Let me get to this real fast. Josh Hester, thank you for tuning in. The DD1 Plus allows you to set a positive overlap. I set +2 on speakers and +5 on subs. Do you recommend no overlap? I mean, if you want to have the least amount of chance of clipping and more of dynamic in your music and clean sound, go 0. Yeah, you can go -5, -10. -5 isn't terrible. But again, you've seen how we had to turn up the gain a lot more. And maybe that's what you wind up doing in your car, is turning up the bass or turning up your bass knob, or you just turn your gain up more because you're like, man, it's not loud enough. And that's where, you know, it comes down to the music you're listening to. If you're listening to a lot of things that are up here compared to a lot of things that are down here, maybe you might need to use a different dB overlap just so that you're getting the most out of the type of music that you're listening to. So it really does matter the music you're listening to. But if you're listening to DJ Rusticals and all that kind of stuff where it's up there all the time, I would go flat. I absolutely would go flat. Just so you get the most dynamic, loud when you should be, not so loud when you shouldn't be. It's never loud enough. Absolutely. Absolutely, Charlie. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. We had a few new people in here tonight. Let's get to the winners. Bobby B, love you, buddy. Thank you for tuning in. It's too late to enter. We are scrolling the Patreon scroll. I'm going to try to do that from now on for the last 5 minutes. Appreciate all my Patrons. Love you guys so much. Man, it's been a blast. All right, so let's get to the winners. Shoot, where am I at here? I'm getting lost. It's not like I do this every week or something. Oh man, where's it at? Come on. Where am I at here? I think I'm losing my mind. I am losing my mind. Oh, wow. I'm getting lost. Alright. God, I'm sorry, guys. I'm reading right over it. It's that time of night, guys. Alright, so, third place. EB400s. Kicker Kush. Well, Kicker Kush. Kicker Koozie. I always do that. Koozie, Kush, same thing. Kicker Koozie. And the Kicker Unmasked t-shirt. And a medium. So double check your size. You know the deal. Third place goes to David M. from Chicopee, Massachusetts. Congratulations, man. Thank you for entering. Thank you for watching. Kickin' with Andy show / Unmasked. Every other week show. Thank you so much for tuning in and enjoy those EB400s that you got, man. They are awesome. Go right around your ear. Go running out in the winter in the snow. You can fall right in the snow. You'll be good. They are waterproof. Second place, Tabor 2's Nathan K. Monroe, Louisiana. Congratulations, man. And of course, with the Unmasked shirt and the koozies, thank you for watching. Appreciate you guys so much. And this one really hit home. I'm like, dude, this is great. First place, Kush NC's, the best of the best. And of course, the t-shirt, the koozie. First place, Adam from SPL Lab. It's rigged. It's rigged. It is absolutely rigged. It's rigged. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be live here again with the Kickin' with Andy show 2 weeks from now. Make sure you tune in to the Unmasked show Tuesday. And I do some side jag shows on Friday too, so make sure you guys tune into that. All the OGs here always watching. Appreciate you guys so much. So much. Congratulations to the winners. Thank you, Bobby, Michael. You're never going to win it, Mike. Especially being a Patreon, I don't know, man. I can only rig so much. It's hard to rig. You know, just it's how it goes, man. Eventually. Hey, don't feel bad. When I used to enter, I never won either. And I entered like maybe 20 shows, never entered. I mean, not even 1 out of 20. That's really bad. It's really bad. Chris, thank you for tuning in, buddy. Appreciate you guys. Kibo, first place. Andy, I wish. Congratulations. Guys are awesome, man. Second place, Ernie. Yeah. I mean, maybe. If it was really rigged, then yeah, probably. Let's see here. Awesome, guys. Well, I appreciate you, man. Awesome show. If there's anything I missed, let me know on the outro. Throw it up. I'll try to jot it down. I appreciate you guys watching, man. This was an awesome show. And again, El Fuego, we love you, man. I hope you're doing better and you recover well. We'll all be praying for you. You're all in our thoughts, man. Everyone's going crazy because we care about you, and this community is awesome. And again, make sure you tune in tomorrow, man. You're gonna want to watch this show. You're gonna want to watch it. I'm telling you, man. And we love you, and we hope you're doing better. I miss you in the comment section. El Fuego is on everyone's Patreon, I swear to God, and for years. I don't even know who El Fuego was 5 years ago. But I'd see him on the credits with Rob and Derek, and I'm like, who is this El Fuego guy anyway? You know, and it's awesome, and he's one of the nicest bass heads, man. Yes, the water is getting a little low, as you can tell, and it's a little not so even here, but I actually been feeding him pretty well, and he's doing great, man. I appreciate you guys. You won. It's rigged. It's rigged. It's rigged. Thank you, Deviant. Appreciate you guys so much. I comment, hardly pay attention to Andy. I'm used to it, guys. It's okay. It's okay. We will give it away next show, Andy. No. You keep it. You enjoy those Kush NCs, man. I'm telling you. That's what I got on my head. You need them. You need them. Maybe if you win again, if we rig it again for you, just maybe. Fish tank needs some RGB. It's got a little bit. I mean, the options are very limited, and it doesn't go along with my Corsair equipment, unfortunately. But it's got a little bit of red, green, and blue. Appreciate you, Cornut. There goes Cookie Monster. Sorry, buddy. You're gonna have to wait till after the credits. We'll get you. All right, guys, let's get to the outro. Love you guys, and see you at the caboose. Peace.
Kicking It with Andy. He's going to be on every other Tuesday. Kicking It with Andy. Kicking It with Andy.
That brittle was the bomb, Kibo and Colby. God, Kayla didn't leave any for me. Thank you so much, Colby. Thank you, William. A very detailed show, for sure.
Kicking It with Andy.
A lot to go over. You know, I feel like I could just keep going on and on and on about a lot of things. But man, it was crazy, and I feel like we covered a lot, man, and everything worked. The ACM mini switcher worked great, and we got you know what, Cornut coming in with a 14.4 super chat. Good night from the Pacific Northwest. Couldn't say that much better, man. And El Fuego, we love you, buddy. From the Pacific Northwest, this is Living Loud with Andy. Cookie Monster's okay, guys. Love you guys. Cornut's just making sure they got a spot. Nobody sniped that one. Cornut is the caboose for El Fuego. See you guys tomorrow.